A lot of people just think that when they see you now, you just arrived out of nowhere. It's funny.
Yeah, I feel like I'm still traveling to
Come
where
on,
I'm
you
going.
are. It's an ongoing story. You just turning different pages. But we need to know the why. I think the why is important in a lot of people's journey, and they never mention it to those people. They say the why make you cry. Have you heard that?
I have heard that.
The why it make you cry. So I know you got an impressive hip hop journey because a lot of people know you as a media personality, TV, especially Dish Nation, all those things. And when you're in a pop culture, people want to take you and put you in one box. But how you knew you had to call in for your hip hop journey?
Growing up when I grew up, which is the 80s, right?
You grew up in the 80s?
Yeah, grew up in the 80s, particularly being in New York where like hip hop was still new.
Yeah.
You couldn't run from it because everything was like such an appointment base. It's not like how it is now where you could turn on the radio, turn on the TV, see a commercial with hip hop in it. You had to stay up to some ridiculous hour to like listen to hip hop.
Oh, it was a certain time frame for that.
Yeah, like they used to be stations, you'd be like, we're the station that don't play rap. And they were proud of that stuff.
Yeah, wow. Okay, that's the thing.
Yeah, it was a thing. So like we used to have to wait for like the rap break on like I Feel For You by Shaka Khan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or wait for like Ralph's part on Cool It Now. Like that was as good as it got during the daytime a lot of times. And then like as the years progressed, you started to hear more and more on radio, but also just being in New York and the rise of the music video too.
That's what did it too. When they put that visual behind the music, you like, whoa, look at those black people thriving. Look at those black people in nice cars. Look at the people with fancy furs and jewels and hairstyles. And you like, I want that.
And
for me.
Also like notice some of these people from where you from.
Now see, you get that luxury, right? Because New York is what? The birth of hip hop.
Yeah.
Right, a lot of people say New York is the birth of
well, yeah, like people go back and say the first hip hop party was doing at Cedric and Cedar with Kool Herc and in the community. But the elements existed prior before that. I mean, there's videos you can find on YouTube with like a gospel group. The one dude looked like Lil Baby. It's weird, but it was like in the 40s, and like these guys are rapping. Cab Calloway, he was doing MC stuff. That call and response.
They didn't have a genre for it.
Right.
They put it under that because it felt safe. Right?
Because hip hop rap is the music under the umbrella of hip hop culture. Which under that umbrella you also have breaking, you have graffiti, you have fashion, beatboxing.
Come on.
There's so many things that fall under that umbrella, but rap is the music. But like rap has existed for a long time, but for it to get mainstream. It didn't really start to like late 70s, when you started hearing records. But you a kid though,
so you sitting there and you having your aspirations on like, dude, I want this.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So most people want to be firefighters, people want to be a police officer. You like, I'm about to rap, bruh.
Well, before we got there, right? Like I wanted to be like Michael Jackson's homeboy.
Oh.
Which later in life I realized that could be problematic, right? However,
I would have known you, Headkrack. You would have been in therapy still. Okay, there. Don't know.
Check this out.
Check this out, bro.
I was such a Michael Jackson fan, I had the doll.
You had a Michael, do you still have the doll? We need to find that Michael Jackson doll.
I rebought it off of eBay.
You're still a Michael Jackson fan. You gotta love the king.
I mean, Mike is Mike.
Mike is Mike.
I mean, it's not like I pulled the doll out and play with it now. I just wanted it because I had it.
It's a collector's
during the pandemic, I did what a lot of people call retail therapy.
Yeah.
And I bought things that made me feel good. And
shout out to people who shopped during the COVID-19 because you were rich, okay? Because a lot of us were robbing Peter, pay Paul. I found out during the pandemic I was not essential. Okay, I found out that I had to do Zoom shows. So shout out to you that you had retail therapy. Meanwhile, I'm telling everybody. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna make this as a casserole, but it's really noodles, some beef sausage, fire.
But with that, forged, I think it's probably some of your best material, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes what we lack in certain things, we make up for in ingenuity and just things that we figure out the workaround to. So like, I remember when I used to have like all these G.I. Joes, all these Transformers, and then my Michael Jackson doll. And I lost my Michael Jackson doll when we moved out of the Bronx. Because me and my mom, we left in the middle of the night. I thought I was just going to Queens.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, they were trying to enroll me in school in Texas. You know what I'm saying? So like I left everything behind. So like just.
Are you glad that she did that way?
No.
No, you would want her to say your goodbye?
Hindsight 2020.
Yeah.
They needed to get away from each other because there was just a lot going on.
Oh yeah,
there was a lot going on.
Especially in the 80s. It was
oh my
crazy.
God.
You know, the epidemics of everything was hitting.
Everything was hitting. Like my parents were like on both sides of the drug game. You know what I'm saying? And like I didn't even realize that I almost got them killed. You know what I'm saying? Like
I didn't even know my mother was a part of the drug game until I got out. And she telling stories. I'm like, are you lying? And then my cousins are like confirming it. I'm like, oh, really?
Yo, but isn't it crazy like how like the chaos was so normal, you thought nothing of it?
I thought we lived a normal. I didn't even know we were poor in a sense until I grew up. And I'm like, damn, she did, struggle for a while until we hit that type of lifestyle. But okay, we got off track. We got off track because it's so easy to talk about just our humble beginnings.
The commonalities that exist, between the two, right? So got the Michael Jackson doll and like every G.I. Joe I ever had and a bunch of other ones and pretty much every Transformer ever made now. I even have self-transforming Transformers.
What age were you when you wrote your first rhyme?
First rhyme, let's go 11.
11.
I was 11 when I wrote my first rhyme.
Do you remember any parts of it?
A lyrical injection for your mind. A rhyme designed to let you unwind. But it's too, I make you move the way that us youngsters do. My style's moist. I got my own thing. 89 flow with a new jack swing. Like, yo, you
had a moist flow at 11?
Yo, I wrote a rhyme.
Shout to the moist flow.
Yo, because my dad used to say that all the time. And so was like, how sometimes people would try to make some slang that ain't really slang at the time. Like nobody was saying moist but my dad. Yo, son, that's moist, man. That jacket is moist. And I'm like, all right, yeah.
Because instead of saying wet, like slick, like that popping. Oh, he said
butter say like moist sound cooler than butter soft. Dunkin' Hines had moist cake. Yo, my rhymes is moist.
Yeah.
Like now I could be like, oh, the rhymes are soft.
Yeah.
Chewy.
So now that you thinking about that, you were 11 writing that type of my rhymes are moist and thinking about the words you have to put together. A lot of people don't have to do that now. We were talking before the lights, camera, action. AI is doing all this now.
It is. And the crazy thing is like I do like some freelance work for this company called Musiversal.
Yeah.
And I work with a lot of people. And a lot of people I work with are coming with these songs that they didn't write, they didn't produce them. They just like, hey, I got the song I made, but I need a human voice on top of it. And it's like, all right. And so like, and the output gets to be heavy or a lot because they're not really doing anything. And so here I am, John Henry against the machine, try to humanize stuff so you can, put things in a music library. And it is what it is. I still get paid.
You still get paid, but here you are with this gift and this talent and people can come in like, okay, I got this.
But, but sometimes it's like I say, no empty trips, right?
Yeah. What does that mean? What do you mean by that?
No empty trips means everything that you do, you're there for a reason. And it may not be the reason that you thought you was coming there to do what you came to do.
Your stuff, man.
Yeah, like
so, no empty trips, man.
Trips.
Why would we take an empty trip? Everything is a lesson. Everything we coming back with some knowledge, and we gonna leave what we don't want.
Yeah, it's like I really signed up with that thing to make connections with people who are in music libraries, so I can submit music directly to the music libraries because that's what the bag is as an artist these days. Because these labels screwed it all up with the streaming stuff because the labels are partners with Spotify and all these other streaming platforms, and it's always the house's advantage and never the player's advantage, being an artist, right?
Yeah, horrible.
So, but if you can get a song on like BMF or get a song on like an MTV show, which I've been fortunate enough to do quite a few times.
Pop your stuff.
That's where the money's at.
That's where the money resides.
Okay. So I try to tap into all of that. And then also too, working with all these different types of musicians and artists, it teaches me different styles that I maybe wouldn't have been comfortable doing because it just wasn't me. But now like, oh wow, instead of being a 48 box of crowns, now you're 96.
Come on. And you know what I like about your energy on that level? Because you could have been, super oppositional and have a bitter, perception of it. But you're like, nah, I'm learning, I'm gaining, and I'm also having these people know who I am because they know who you are. You're really, truly, truly transforming everything they want. You're the man at this point.
Thank you.
You're the man. And I really want to learn the whole AI game because AI is changing everything.
Yo, by the time this comes out, there'll be 2 new things to learn. Everything is coming in muy rapido.
Yeah. So what do you think about the people who are using AI, but they're not even putting in the work? So they're literally saying, hey, I want to start a new genre. I want to start doing comedy because we do comedy too. Mm-hmm. You do comedy. He does comedy. How did you do comedy? When we were talking about you'd rather do improv because you like just the freeness of it.
I like improv because improv is closer to a freestyle.
Yeah.
You're making it up as you go. You get more so rewarded for the attempt versus the execution.
You know what it is? You really be impressing yourself. Improv, you're like, I can't believe I just did that. I just saved the day.
Well, but then also too, it's a parlor trick. So for the audience to throw out a suggestion that you guys turn into a scene and make it flip, they enjoy that just as much as everybody else, you know, like, as much as we do on the stage too, because it's like, all right, how can we make something out of this nothing that they just gave us and make it bang?
Knowing all that you know about AI, have you ever said, hey, AI, write me some dope jokes and try to use this type of scenario? Have you ever used AI for jokes?
Nah.
Fire.
Because I have enough stuff that I write that like I have a hard enough time remembering. Like, you know, like that's the thing, like, you know, for all the jokes. And that's why I always had just unlimited respect for comedians, because it is the most bare knuckle form of entertainment that one could do. No one goes to an a cappella singing concert unless you're going to see Pentatonics. You know, like.
Can I tell the people something? This man is so smart. I have to just give you that. This brother knows a lot about everything. He gonna throw some stuff out that you gonna have to go look up.
Google later.
Oh, you got to Google. This man said Pentatonics.
I heard Pentagon.
He knows a lot about everything, and that what makes your value go so far, bruh. I can listen to you all day, even though I'm very entertaining, and I know a lot of stuff too. I like when you can I'll say something and you'll put the actual title to it. I'm like, damn, now how did he know?
Yeah, you know, yin and yang, you know, opposite sides.
What were we just talking about?
We would talk about comedy. And
no. What movie we were talking about when I said the balls came down?
Oh, Minority Report.
Minority Report. Yeah, the balls came down.
There's like the precogs.
Who remember? I know it's called precogs. Why the... I love you.
No, I latched on to the precog concept and Minority Report because I knew, like, out of all the crazy stuff that they were showing you in the movie, that was the real thing. Like, there are literally people who could close their eyes and tell you, like, yeah, nigga did it. Was wearing a red shirt.
And that goes back to the AI and the Elon Musk. What's your thoughts on Elon Musk and what's going on with the iRobots? I'm okay, they're not iRobots, but you know what we think is iRobots.
Definitely.
And the Tesla trucks and the
naked robots. Well, real quick. So comedians remember things that most people can't remember, and you got to do this bare knuckle style.
Yeah.
That's why I love comedy so much, and I respect comedians, because y'all have to put in a certain level of work. And I can do the writing. I have none of the time to do the memorization. I am busy.
Yeah.
I can go on stage, improv, wild out. Elon Musk, this nigga's Montgomery Burns.
Yes.
This dude is Montgomery Burns.
Yeah.
Like with more power.
Montgomery Mr. Burns.
Who bully foots their way into the White House, brings their kid, and has their kid be like, you ain't the president?
And then exit stage left, and he's gone. Do you know that he's gone, though, right?
I know he's gone.
He just left. He left the administration, so he got everything that he wanted. I love Elon Musk for that.
This nigga took the job to fire Elmo.
What you just say?
He took the job just so he could fire Elmo. You know, they went in there, they cut the education, public broadcast and stuff. He was part of all that Doge thing. Yeah.
He did. He cut that, and then he also got everyone's information so that he can program those things.
It's a maniacal play. Because when you think about, you know, because we look at Trump the way we look at Trump right now, but you remember who Trump was before Trump was Trump in office? Well, who was the other Trump president before Trump?
Who? No, don't say Bush.
Yeah. Bush. Trump is such a villain. We forgot how much we hated Bush.
We did. Bush was a thing.
Nigga.
Yeah.
And then the fact that, you know, like when Bush was in office, he made it to where his homies got money.
Yeah.
Like that whole thing, that play in Iraq, you know, with the restructuring and everything. He's a part owner of Halliburton, who went to do all the rebuilding and all the repairs over there.
Imagine that.
Halliburton. Conflict of interest, you think? And then same thing with, you know, like with, you know, Trump and the certain people that he's aligned himself with and like get in the office. These are all people that either he's gotten money with in the past or is about to get money with in the future.
He is a hustler, homie. He knows how to keep those connections. And speaking of connections, this brother, and man, he just pardoned so many people. I'm excited about Larry Hoover.
Okay, so let me slow you down on that one, because
I know about the 200 years, but guess what though? He served 50. His lawyers are working on. Okay, so I have.
Okay.
I'm cool.
Because I jumped out the window like he coming home this weekend.
I made a video, bro. I got everybody. It's about 9 of us. I called my friend. I threw a GD party.
Okay.
I threw a Larry Hoover.
I did see you sitting in a chair. You did it. I saw you.
But I used the snacks I had at the house. So I had muffins, apples, and chips. Nothing went together, but the party was cracking. Okay.
Chips.
Muffins, apples, chips.
That's a very Nature Valley.
They let Larry Hoover out. They let Chris Chrisley out. And then word on the street, NBA YoungBoy, but word on the street is that they may be letting out the guy who killed. I don't want to say his name. The guy who killed.
George Floyd.
The guy who killed George Floyd, but I don't want to say the police officer's name. We don't have to say his name.
Dickface.
Yeah, Dickface. They say he may be getting pardoned too. Was that intentional pardon place? The Larry Hoovers, the NBA young boys.
It's possible. Like if you like pardon a bunch of people, cause a little distraction over here. Meanwhile, me leave the door open for this other guy. I mean, nothing's impossible. Because don't hold me to this. Didn't he pardon all the people from January 6th? Did he pardon all those people who did the raid on the Capitol?
Did all of them get pardoned? I know a few got pardoned. I didn't know all of them got pardoned.
I don't want to
say it, but he opposed this, and I think that Trump is trying to get the people votes. But at what cost? Now we got to backtrack.
Yeah, because we're easily fooled. Not we, like some of y'all. Because I know the play. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like when somebody like as a kid you get hurt. Shh, I'll give you a light pop. Shh, stop crying.
But with all these plays that is this how you inspired by your music? Like, do you use this to capitalize off your music?
Yeah, I try to Trojan horse information in within the music, right? Yeah. Like I call it righteous and ratchet. Because if you come through with your military, like nobody want to hear that right away. Yeah. But if I show you some areola,
you better talk your stuff.
You gonna pay attention.
Because everybody love a good areola, and this ain't that type of show. But go to my page. I was showing some areolas the other day.
See,
but I really like that. Just the top part. The top part of it.
Sometimes you just see a little, man. Just the print.
It's funny because we talk about areolas, we talk about all these things in the future and all this, but there is a digital footprint in the world that never goes away. Yeah. We have children. You're a father. You are a husband. What type of image or what type of legacy are you trying to leave for your boys?
A legacy of that, he wasn't just there, but he was present.
Yeah.
And that he bust his ass to make sure we were set up. Because I think a lot of times we live so much for today that we don't leave nothing for tomorrow.
Okay.
And I think a lot of times when you look at other races, how they have a leap on us, they had a head start in the race. You think about, for years, banks wouldn't even sign off on loans for us to have homes.
And when they did, it was redline. They wouldn't give us the best home.
Yeah, or a crazy interest rate because they knew they could repossess it later on down the road. So even the first line of not defense, but the first line of offense, I would say, a lot of times for us as it relates to investments is property.
Yeah.
So if I can make sure that each one of my kids has a piece of property that's their own, they're starting off in a better place than I started off in. And that's my thing. I want to teach them to be independent, self-starters, and not necessarily reliant on the go to work, come home system that a lot of times we get programmed into because we ain't put here to work for somebody until we can't work no more than die.
And then not experience life. How does that look? How does that feel? That has to be torture, but that's how the world is set up right now. We're literally paying bills.
Well, it's mostly this country, and I think we have to be afraid to leave. We have to be not afraid to leave.
We were just talking about Ghana. We were talking about going to Africa and building.
Yeah, I gotta go scout it out first.
You gotta go scout it out?
No, I've heard beautiful things.
Yeah, let's go scout it out.
About the motherland. And you should never be afraid to go back to the source. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think sometimes, some people are afraid to leave their own city, state. And, so leaving the country is a big trip. But do your due diligence, do your research. I mean, shoot, I like Canada.
Canada was fire.
Your chances of getting shot are low. Chances of getting stabbed, high.
But what part? I was in Edmonton.
Most of it.
Really?
Where they lack guns, they make up for in cutlery.
Oh, that's vicious.
Oh, look at the stabbing numbers in Canada and UK.
The fact that you even looked up the stabbing number, that's why I'm not making this up. He knows the stabbing rate. Bro, I went to Johannesburg. Johannesburg is like a modern day New York. I mean, it's like, on the South African side of New York. It was fire. I had a good time. I could live in Johannesburg.
Yo, every time somebody I know goes to Africa, no matter what part, Nigeria, Johannesburg, Ghana, everybody come back with amazing stories.
And we can go there. I literally had a conversation with my homeboy. Me and Sonny were talking, and we were just talking about how when desegregation, I know this is deep, desegregation didn't help us. It tore us apart. Because we were thriving in our Black communities with our Black banks and our Black schools and our Black grocery stores and our Black daddies in the Black home and the families going to the Black churches. It was great. And everybody was happy because we had the culture of us.
Yeah.
We had the essence of us. And that's what Africa is. There's people there who are loving on each other, living, and they come to the United States to get their bread up.
Yeah.
But guess what they do? They go back and they reinvest it in the land.
And that's important.
And that's what we got to do. We have to reinvest it back in the land. I'm not afraid to move. I just know the moves I make here, I want to build, and I'll go over there and And I'll be a queen too, because the thicker you are in Africa.
Oh, you get worship?
You get worship.
That's what I'm talking about.
You skinny girls could never make it. Your day. I will be a queen in Zamunda. Huh? Okay, never mind.
It's a real, Zamunda's a real place to be, just like Hillman was. I'm just not. No, in real life, I was so disappointed when I found out Hillman wasn't a real college.
And I guess why I see people walking around with the Hillman sweaters.
It's pre-internet.
It was
pre-internet. I had no way to look the stuff up.
That's okay, but now we know.
Yeah, we know better.
And guess what? Hillman made us want to go to college.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. Like, we got to create so many more things that like get us inspired about things that we no longer care about.
What inspires you?
What inspires me is, I mean, at this moment in time, because like I'm in a really weird creative, I don't want to say tailspin.
Okay.
It's just, we're living through a time where like the business is changing, the industry is changing, what money means is changing. You know what I'm saying? We've seen this all happen. I'm inspired by new technology and just trying to figure out new creative ways to stand out in a busy street.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because like, yo, it's
forever evolving.
It's forever evolving, and there's 100 people who try to do who are doing variations of what you do. Like, I mean, I rap, so does most people.
But not even that though. And then when most people like the way you rap, they tweak your rap and your style and your image, and they create it on 2.0. Then it goes 3.0.
I think people always build on things that they hear that they like. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think that's the nature of being creative. Like, you know, if you see a dope painting or if you see a comedian, man, the way that person controlled the stage,
I want that.
I can learn from that.
I want that. Yeah.
You're not necessarily stealing
the joke. You don't want to take their essence.
Yeah, but like, you know, but I think we're always learning and being taught, you know, so I get excited seeing and hearing new rappers that like blow my mind or seeing a show that, oh my God, I didn't realize that these things were possible to be done on stage visually.
When I see new comedians, I feel like their mother, almost in a sense. I'm like, come here. And I feel like most of them feel like that too. They like wrap themselves in my arms. I wrap them in my arms. And they're just like, hey, thank you for being loved. And I'm like, no, thank you for being dope and fearless. This is just the beginning. I'm feeling like a sensei.
That's what's up.
Like a generous queen.
Well, the fact that you've ran the laps enough to be able to get to that point to where like that's the space you could occupy, and I think that's dope, and still be an active combatant in it. However, like when you do your comedy, because like this is sometimes and I love watching comedians. Sometimes I hate watching comedians because, you know, sometimes you think you got a great premise that nobody's on. And then you go to a show and you're like, damn it, that person, you know, because like, not to say that no idea is original, but a lot of times, you know, people operate in the same creative frequency. Have you ran into that much?
Right. That's why when you put things in the universe and you have to attack it right away because it's out in the universe. I think Sonny told me that my homeboy who just let me speak a lot. He was just saying like, once you put it out there, if you don't activate it, it's gone. Yeah. And the universe is gonna pick it up. It was great. Mm-hmm. It can't just fall by the wayside. So you better act on what you said you was gonna do.
I tell people all the time, ideas are frequency. Yeah. Creativity is frequency. Yeah. We are frequency. Yeah. That's why like when you get a bunch of creative people in the same room, you get the best ideas because everybody is amplifying that same creative frequency. Yeah. And you get an output. I would love nothing more than to be sitting in the SNL writers' room. You know, when you have all those high level comedy.
Come on, manifestation is happening. Throw it in the atmosphere. Throw it in the atmosphere.
I mean, because like I love comedy at that level, but like I don't necessarily always have to be the person in the front. I could write. I could just show up and do Weekend Update. I'd be cool with that type of energy.
I've said this before. Let me know if you concur. I'd rather be rich than famous. I'd rather be rich than famous. I'd rather be rich and known, right? And I can go inside a 5-star restaurant. They're like, Kelly's here. But then I also can go inside the grocery store and no one knows I'm there.
Yeah, my remix on that, and I respect that. Mm-hmm. My remix on that is like, I don't want to be famous for being rich. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like, I want to be able to have what I need because sometimes, you know, you can have money, but sometimes resources, access, and connectivity is the real treasure. And I think sometimes we put so much energy into like monetary, and granted, a few times a month, people gonna want you to pay a bill or something. You need money for that. However, if you have the resources and the people in your network to help you do the things that you want to do, those are the tools that can bring you those resources and you don't have to chase the dollar so hard.
And we talked about that earlier. You were saying it's not about that. It's about building those connections and those bridges. And a lot of times we do things because it comes full circle. Mm-hmm. and at a level you could never even imagine. And it may have a monetary dollar. It may just be experience to just shift you for the next level. Yeah. You're like, oh man, I'm so glad I did that. And we have to shift all the time because we are creative. How do you shift for your mental health? Mental health is a thing for me. I don't necessarily struggle with mental health, but I ain't got it all the way together, because when I say, I don't think that I have mental issues, but I do know that I'm down on myself a lot because my mind goes 100 miles per hour.
Yeah.
I want to be doing this. I want to be doing that. I am watching other things. I'm like, I should be in this space. How do you deal with that?
Differently from week to week. Like, I can't say that I have one real out. Like, there's sometimes where I literally get depressed that I'm only one person.
Wow.
Because I have like 7 lives worth of things that I want to do in a short amount of time. And we have even talked about like parenting. Being there for your kids, wanting to pour into them and make sure. Oh, you married? You got a woman that you gotta keep up and love on? Yeah, but she's occupied with the kids. So like,
you get what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like in hindsight, that's another thing.
Yeah. Like, I mean, and it is a thing. And like, we have our appointment times at the end of the day.
Yeah, come on. Shout out to the appointment times. If you ain't got no appointment time, you really ain't in love like that. Because when the kids come, you understand that is the main. Yeah, but sometimes we have kids run defense during our appointment time. So it's just like, and when I say appointment, just being around each other's energy field. It's the little things. Because sometimes you be moving in so many different directions, getting this kid to that thing and another thing. So all that to say, for my mental health, some weeks it looks like me doing yoga. Sometimes it's me using my sound bed. Sometimes it's me using my Pandora Starlight. These are all Googleable things. Sometimes, come on, Google. Sometimes it's weed. But I think, the biggest helper has been ayahuasca. Ayahuasca. Yeah. It's not a person. Ayahuasca is a tea that they do. Is that the Will Smith thing?
Yeah, I hate the fact that he made it famous.
And he did, because I didn't know anything about it. When you said it, I'm like, dang. So is that like an outer body experience? Don't do this when you do this.
Yeah, because I wanted to be careful because everybody's experience is different. But I will say, pre-ayahuasca Will Smith wouldn't have smacked Chris Rock.
Okay.
Yo, ayahuasca, once you do a ceremony, it's in you forever.
Really?
And it makes you the most fearless, unhinged version of yourself.
I may do ayahuasca.
Yo, like,
where do you get it from? Is this legal? Okay, never mind. You gotta know somebody that knows somebody.
I would have to drop the disclaimer. Yeah, but I mean, like, I know shamans, and like, what I was looking for, which initially started like in 2018, 2019, I was watching Mike Tyson on his own podcast at the time. He was talking about, he did this thing called the Toad, which is DMT. And I noticed how that changed who he was. Cause like Mike used to be a wild dude.
Upper,
Yeah, like a wild dude. So for people, I don't know if you're a Marvel person, but I'm watching the person who used to be the Green Hulk be Gray Hulk now. You still Hulk, but you smart now. You're more introspective. Yeah. And I'm like, well, damn, if this is this stuff for Mike,
what is it gonna do for me?
So I live in Atlanta and I don't trust anybody. So like, I definitely wasn't gonna buy no DMT from nobody in Atlanta. You gonna get baking soda laced with arsenic.
They some scammers.
Yeah. Like,
and they some scammers.
Scam. Oh, scam. So I'm like, all right, so DMT is a fast track. What is the more natural OG first way to do it? And then, ayahuasca. But I don't want to go to Brazil or Colombia. And then somehow I ran into somebody in my inner circle who's going on some retreats with a shaman who comes from Brazil to the States, and they do these local
alignment is real. You can't beat alignment.
I threw the frequency up.
You threw the frequency up. I'm gonna throw it up. So listen, I'm scared of stuff, certain things. Like I do comedy all over the world, obviously. And I do this joke about me eating edibles. And I like to say that, and people after the show, they're like, I got you. Or fans come and they bring them. And so I am a free spirit. Everybody know I'm a butterfly. Somebody came to the show and they were like, hey, we're going to bring you some edibles to the after party. I get to the after party. My spirit went right. You know what I'm saying?
After the edibles?
No, they gave me a bar. And I was like, okay. He was like, take a piece. And he was like, take a piece. And he walked off. The guy, and he was with his wife. I broke a piece. But my spirit didn't stay right, so I just threw it in the back of the section. We was in the VIP section. I just threw it in the back. Yeah, because I just didn't feel it. Why come back? He's like, how many pieces you took? And I'm still just shooting the shit with him. I'm like, I took a square. He was like, you gonna need 2 of those. I was like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, but those weren't edibles. Those were shrooms. I was like, What instantly fear filled my body. Because you tried to drug me. I've never been on a shroom before.
Oh, well, if anything,
they were trying to Diddy me.
No, they weren't trying to do it. If anything, like shrooms are weird, especially if you don't know what type of shrooms they are, right?
Get me out of my mind.
Yeah, like, and you were not prepared. You didn't pack your bags for that trip. So
do you understand? So
I get it.
That's a drugging. Whenever you give somebody something that they didn't ask for, if I ask you for
fair enough.
and you gave me another drug, you tried to drug me because I'm expecting a Tylenol.
Yo, but high five to you and your spirit of discernment.
Man, when I say that spirit kicked in, Headkrack. And guess what? I cried all the way back. I called my driver like, you gonna pick me up? I just felt scared because I'm like, dude, what if I was there and I took it and I'm by myself?
No, but here's the crazy thing. It could have went in a bunch of weird ways, right?
Yeah.
I don't think none of those ways would have had you greased up in a tub anywhere.
Okay.
Yo, if you were having a great day already, everything would have been vivid. You would have seen amazing colors and you would have figured out the key to time travel.
Come on.
If you were having a crappy day, you would have hated everybody and you would have been walking around with your fist balled. Like it enhances whatever mood is going on internally.
But I want to have the correct people introduce me to the correct things at correct times. You know, you didn't want it from Atlanta. You want it from Brazil. And you spoke it and you got it. And the alignment was real. Yeah. Don't try to give me no shroom in the middle of the club where they talking about where them fans at? Now you mean it's 38 fans. I'm on the shroom. I was like, I'm thinking I'm in total recall.
Yeah, now your night would have definitely been interested, especially if you was expecting cruise control, Silver Surfer, weed high. Yeah. And now all of a sudden you see red, but you also see 7 different types of red, or you just burst into tears because you something that made you sad. It's an emotional plant.
It's an emotional.
Because I don't even call mushroom or ayahuasca drugs. I call it a plant.
Okay.
And because the thing is, plants are from the earth, and we're earthly people.
Come on.
And granted, it ain't for everybody.
Yeah.
There's some people who should never step foot anywhere, weed either.
Yeah.
But there's some people who are wired in a certain way to where they bond with those things and it opens up things in your brain that allows you to tap into certain frequencies.
Yeah.
And you have to know how to utilize, but not use.
Not use.
Yeah, utilize the plants. Don't let the plants use you.
And it's of the earth. It's natural. You get what I'm saying? Ain't nothing that you have to hurt, harm, or anybody to go get or do.
But he shouldn't have set you up for that.
He shouldn't have set me up for that. But something just rang the bell with me when you just said the spirit of discernment. I do believe in the spirit of discernment. So are you Are you religious?
I am. I'm not a go to church every Sunday type of person.
Yeah.
But I believe in God. I feel like God guides everything that has ever happened for me, good, bad, indifferent, because everything was all teachable moments.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he put me here to be a healer. I feel like he put me here to entertain people, but maybe even heal people through the way I entertain. Mm-hmm. But I also feel like he's literally put me here. Well, I don't even say he, because one of my ayahuasca experiences showed me something amazing about God.
Share.
The way God appeared to me was not as a man or a female. It's an energy. God is a frequency. God is a thing. God lives in all of us, but there is a God that governs everything, that allows the good things and the bad things that happen. And what may be a bad thing to happen to one person actually may have benefited somebody somewhere else for good. And at some point that pendulum is going to swing back and it's going to be your turn for it to be good. But that's... I
wholeheartedly believe that, and I've never had that experience.
Say a word.
I wholeheartedly believe that. You've seen it. I literally just seen the cycle of that happening. And it has happened in my life before, but not even on the experience of the natural herb, but just what you're saying. So it's true. I believe that.
And can I also throw in?
Go ahead.
God is smug. Smug like Prince.
What you say?
God is smug.
What you say?
Yo, God is not impressed by us.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you want to know? Here it is. Very, very sassy.
He says, and he just dude, just trust the process.
Yeah.
I already gave, it's good. Just trust it. God is just simply telling you to trust the process. There's no little bigs and no small wrongs. You just have to know that I'm going to be with you no matter what.
Absolutely.
No matter what, God is going to cover us. No matter what, he's going to wrap his arm around us. It don't matter what you did yesterday. It don't even matter what you plan to do tomorrow. If you trust him like you say you're going to trust him, he's going to make a way. Yeah. He's going to build it.
And especially if your intent is good.
The intention.
Intent is everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? if you move around world with bad intent, you might win a little bit, but at the end, it all comes crashing down.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that, the greased up brother that's in court right now. Like, it looked like.
What'd you say?
You know what I'm saying?
The greased up brother that's in court right now. I think that was the mere fact of power being crumbling down. You're going to have so much power, but everything that goes up must come down.
True D. And the crazy thing, and maybe I'll get proven wrong, I feel like he's going to walk. Because,
I do too, because they haven't admitted.
Because the things that they're bringing up in court
are not illegal.
Or yeah, he's just a freaky, weird dude.
He's just a wop, 69. Diddy has not, and guess what? When Diddy, okay, let me be very clear, and I'll say this to you, you're a good friend of mine. When that stuff happened with Cassie, the hotel fight, I was mad. I am a survivor of domestic violence. Early on, young, not even knowing because they had trauma and they inflicted it on me, right? So that was a trigger for me. And I did do a TikTok video about it. Like, dude, he needs to be dealt with or whatever. But this, I'm a Scorpio. This that I've been hearing, this sounds like they're having fun. Now, I'm not saying my type of fun.
Yeah.
Some of it I was like, okay. Some stuff I was intrigued by, like, okay, Diddy. Yeah. I would have been there for it if I wasn't happily married.
Fair enough. I think a lot of people quietly, I want to go and freak off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just want to be invited. I went in my closet like, I have 32 all white outfits. Yeah. I could have made it any time. But he didn't do anything illegal.
I mean, well, assault is illegal.
No, I'm talking about, but that's not what he's in court for.
Yeah, that's not what he's in court for. That's the crazy thing. But
did you know if you fly your wife out? Did you know if you fly your wife?
It's trafficking.
It's trafficking if you have sex with her once y'all get somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Everybody could be in court.
Me and my husband doomed. Do not run us. We're doomed. Just know whenever we fly out, oh, it's going down. We got a nightcap. He takes you something like, put your leg on my arm.
But like the craziest thing about a lot of that is that people knew all the things that are coming up in court. People knew about these things, and it wasn't until he tried to sue that liquor company that he had all these problems. Which goes to show that people will protect you until you're no longer profitable to them. Like, soon as you exercise or run through your usefulness. Hold
on. You really realize the power that you have, that you are the brand, that you can do this without us. Mm-hmm. But since I'm still gonna, and that's what Diddy was saying, I ain't even trying to do it without y'all. I just want more. What I deserve. He just needed more.
Yeah, but also too, like, when your mind is clouded by drugs and alcohol, there's a reason why they call alcohol spirits.
Come on, them spirits are getting you.
You're easy to control. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm a person who can sit right here and say that, like, since I started smoking weed more,
okay,
not as surgical in my approach to certain things as I used to be, but I needed it because I was so stressed out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, it definitely gives you.
I'm not a weekend baker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like, end of the day,
I'm at night getting it right.
Yeah, I gotta go to sleep.
Yeah, I ain't a weekend baker, but I'm at night getting it right.
Big facts. So, the devil knows his own, right? You know what I mean? So with that being said, like, I think a lot of his decisions that he made were clouded by his drug-impaired judgment, and he did dumb things. And then I think you get that cloak of invincibility on you when you get away with so many things for so long. You know?
And guess what? And let's not forget, I know we talked about Trump earlier, but let's not forget, politics is real too. He went against Trump too. He went against saying like, hey, y'all, Trump don't run us. We can start our own community. He went like, hey, black people, let's rally up. He did all these things back to back. And then boom, grand fall. What's your ideas with the politics when it comes to us? Do you feel like if we're not locked in with them? Or like, what's your take on politics in general?
Well, that part is tricky because, I think a lot of people would probably be disappointed if they knew who people align themselves with in totality. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, there's this overall arching narrative that every black person is supposed to be a Democrat.
And that's not true.
I largely vote not even largely, like, eclipse, like, entirely vote Democrat just because I usually agree with them more, even though financially it does not work in my best interest usually.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I need the criminals in office that let the people who make a certain amount of money scofflaw. But, But
that's true.
But at the end of the day,
That's
like,
true.
it's not about me. It's about more than me. Like, when Obama came through with the Obamacare, man, that shit made my insurance so high.
Oh yeah.
However, my grandmother not had insurance.
She did.
You know what I'm saying? Or people who couldn't afford to get their teeth pulled now all of a sudden had it. So, like you gotta take you out of it.
Yeah.
And just figure it out. Like, I could be uncomfortable for a little bit compared to some people who've been uncomfortable for a long time.
Yeah.
So that's not really a big issue. But what I do hate about the way the political system is ran here is that we are supposed to have a 3-party system and we do not.
We do not.
Who is the third candidate that ran this year?
No one.
No, there
First of
was.
all-
That's the problem. No, there was. There was.
It was?
Yo, what's my man? Cornel West was running.
He was on the ballot.
He was. Yeah.
Okay. Wait a minute. I voted. I just want, because I know this. I know y'all finna be in comments going crazy on me. I voted, but I only voted for who I want to vote for.
Yeah, I think it was like Cornel West
that
and
was
Jill
Kamala.
Stein. Oh, Kamala too. Yeah, yeah.
And then Kamala, we didn't even have the proper introduction. We didn't even vote. I mean, we didn't even vote to put her in there. Passed down
Because
to her.
we let them flim flam us. You had a lot of men who are afraid of women in power. Definitely don't want to be told what to do by a black woman. I think that's messed up. You have a lot of easily programmable people. I feel like the Latinos really be letting us down.
But guess what? They've been recanting all of that. And I love me some good Latinos. But babe, did you see a lot of them like, Trump, you did this to us? Yes, they did. He did. Immediately. I think that was like one of his first calls of action.
The wild part is he said he was going to do that. Like,
He said it.
no me gusta. Like he said he was going to do it, and it happened. But this also happened when Bush ran, because a lot of these political people are very smart. They know how to like lean in on topics that like weigh heavy within certain communities.
Yeah.
And they will use that as the basis to win the people that they also are working against. So, if you're a devout Catholic and, whatever your stance is on abortion, and you got a candidate that's like, yo, this is how I feel about abortion, and that aligns with you, then like,
That's it.
then yeah, you voting 100% on that tip. And then,
And it's just simply topic based. You get what I'm saying? It's not a lot of tangible, it's not a lot of valid reasons outside of it. And I'm gonna be kind of honest. I'm gonna be clear.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times I'm the same way. You say a few things, I'm like, I like that, and I won't even go on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
You've heard your pros and cons about people, but I think with Kamala, I was excited because it was a black woman. She was black, but she was a woman, and I was like, women, we are movers and shakers, and we don't have a lot of leaders.
yeah.
Who are our black leaders? Who do you consider right now, currently? And we're not talking about rappers. We're not talking about entertainers. Who are our, I'm talking about entertainers, like movie actors, all those people. Who's our leaders? Our leaders that we can go to and get and rally behind.
King Joffrey.
God, I'm about to.
It's messed up.
This man just said King Joffrey coming to America.
I mean, but think about it. Jesse Jackson in a wheelchair. We ain't seen him in 4 years, right? Who else we got? Barack Obama, he's chilling. His wife's making a podcast.
Yeah.
You have the Desmond Tutu is dead. Sidney Poitier's alive. But Harry Belafonte, that was the one. Harry Belafonte is dead. So anybody new that rises to the chair be like, I'm gonna lead y'all. Everybody gonna be like, who put him in charge? And they'll throw all types of dirt at this person. That's the problem. Everybody wants a leader, but nobody wants to like the leader that wants to lead.
Because in hindsight, they want to be the leader, but they don't have none of the qualifications.
Right.
And it's so crazy because people only want to see you go as far as they believe you should go. Mm-hmm. You right?
I think also too, like being the leader doesn't end well for most people. Whether it be, you get caught up in something like, you let somebody do a favor for you for this boat trip. Oh, we're gonna get you out of the office. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Type of stuff they try to do.
Embezzlement.
Eric Adams in New York, Kwame Kilpatrick. I heard he did some of that stuff though, but whatever. But it's hard. It's hard to put a person.
Let me tell you something about that brother Eric. He going against them. I don't know if you've ever seen him. Like he don't care.
I love that.
I love that for him. He like, man, y'all tripping, and he using that same verbiage. He's going up there, podium, 1,000 cameras. Like, oh, what? I mean, I'm not doing these things. What do y'all expect from me? I'm like, this is my cousin? This is a New York thing, though, bro.
Eric Adams is like one of the loudest mans we've had, like in any state or city, like in years, man. And I just hate the way they try to play him like that because, it paints a narrative like all black politicians are crooked, and they're not.
They're not.
So every now and then they'll do what everyone else does. And they get popped on the hand for it.
Well, let me be very clear. When we do something, and we're not color bashing, but it is what it is. Proof is in the pudding. When we do something, we're put on the tree to hang and dry. When they do something, it's swept under the rug.
Oh, yeah.
We don't know. But it's our culture. It's our culture that tear each other down.
Oh, yeah.
It's us that's in the blogs. It's us that's posting and resharing it instead of keeping it. I'm not saying that we're not supposed to pat the people on the hand or shame them for their bad decisions, but to keep constantly letting them relive it. That's just like a felon who can't get a job once they get out. You like constantly being persecuted for the same thing where they can't travel the world. And it's just certain things. Like,
yeah, but I think we as a people do that, like, even with low level stuff. Like, like your daddy, that time he was out there with that hussy, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's bad.
We don't let things go. But I think a lot of times the wicked people, and I'm not saying that they're white or whatever, they'll pull that first little Jenga block that'll make the tower janky, and then we do the rest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we put people on a pedestal so we can shoot at them easier. Going back to the candidate thing, none of the other independent candidates were invited to the debates that were televised that mattered. That's why you didn't know that Cornel West was on the ballot. That's why you didn't know Jill Stein was on the ballot. Not saying that would have changed anything, but it's good to know. And there's also certain countries that do, and don't get me wrong on the name here, let's call it like I'll call it a trickle-down ballot. Let's just say if you wanted to vote for an independent, and that's why a lot of independents don't win, because people feel like they wasted a vote. Mm-hmm. Certain countries do a thing where I want to vote for Cornel West, but if West don't win, make my vote count for this person.
It should be like that.
Yeah.
It should be like that. Because I'm torn. Or it's two people I want. Mm. I want him initially, but I know a lot of people don't. But I'm okay with this second person.
It be the independents to me that be spitting when, because I hated Biden and Kamala when they ran that first time.
Yeah.
Because I remember what they politics did to so many people that looked like us in the 90s.
Kamala didn't. Yeah, she didn't start off pretty strong with that.
Yeah, she was the West Coast Terminator. He was sending brothers away, and so was Joe Biden. Just for his son to be doing crack today. You know what I'm saying?
Be doing crack today.
So when they was running, I was Yang Tan Clan. Andrew Yang. I was going for Yang because Yang was we gonna live, school. We gonna wipe student debt, and there was another thing he was rocking with. I think he was free school, and maybe something with free healthcare.
Bro, life could be so simple. It literally can. But people want to make it obviously totem poles. Mm-hmm. And then there's the lower class. And people don't want those people to even feel like this is obtainable. So we're going to make college super expensive and put on. Only reason I brought up college, them student loans. I don't know if y'all know. Yeah. I don't know if y'all know they put that student loan debt back on your credit.
Yeah.
This week.
Yeah.
Oh, me and my friends called my credit score went down. Credit score instantly went down. It was loan forgiveness. Was under was that Biden or that was Biden?
That was Biden. Yeah.
That was Biden. That was Obama. All that loan forgiveness had our loans on freeze. We was good. Boom.
Yeah. I think three things. One, anything a president, not 290.
Credit score 180.
Can you even get Netflix?
They try to take my Netflix. So now I'm paying $30. I'm paying 2 months in advance on Netflix because
for the first month, last month,
because they put my student loans on there. I don't even want the degree no more. That's what I'm saying. I don't even want the degree. They can take the degree back. And I'll take it at a lower value price, but take it back.
Yeah, but fair enough. There's 3 checkpoints that I think we hit as people, and it's by design. When you're born, the hospital will charge your parents upwards of maybe $20,000 just because you had a child. Unless you say you don't know who the kid's father is, and then it'll be on the house.
Oh,
right?
God.
Then school. Why would we charge you so much money for school? No one needs books anymore. Everything's digital. You can PDF the whole book and just make sure you pay the teachers and, make the campus, I don't know, same way I do churches.
The campus are already running. They're up and running. The buildings are...
some places, some of the black schools be struggling.
That was because the funding's not even there. They can't even get the funding from the state. That's what I'm saying. They can't even get the funding from the state. This ain't even got nothing to do with us. The state has to provide a certain amount of money anyways to these colleges. Why are you making these students fit the took the bill.
It baffles me because an educated society that goes back into the workforce only helps the workforce, even though AI is about to really like complicate a lot of things.
I'm here to tell you and the rest of the world, I have a 4.0 student. I have 2 4.0 daughters.
Congrats.
And I told them both that I am not worried about college. I am worried about you all seeking greatness. I do truly believe in my heart of hearts they will have full rides. But if they don't, they will not be going out of state to pay out of state tuition for college. We're in Georgia. They're going to get the best education here. We're going to be fine. In-state tuition, you can stay on campus. I'm not going to take that away. I'm going to take the experience away from you. But I'm not putting my kids in debt because I know what I know now.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I went out of state, so I paid a fee on top of a fee. And I'm like, what?
Yeah,
it's just ridiculous.
It makes no sense. Shout out to University of Phoenix.
Shout out to Everest, University of Phoenix. What else? What was Master
the other online ones?
What was Masterpiece?
University. I don't know. I don't remember. I remember seeing the commercials like him and Romeo back in the day. Like,
hey, Everest is like, hey, what you doing right there on the couch? You're like, what are they talking about? You need to get up right now. Get your lunch.
You don't know what I'm doing right now, but I'll get up.
You join this university, we're gonna charge you $20,000 for a certificate. You're like, oh God, I'm not even a certified teacher.
Yo, the whack part is like when you think about how much school was when you were trying to go versus what it is now. Like,
oh, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous and life is crazy, but I'm glad that we are in spaces, and definitely you are in spaces where you meet amazing people. You get to see them on their highest and their lowest, through the thick and the thin, right? And a lot of times people just think people arrive and they get there. But from being on Ricky Smiley's show, and I'm sure that helped catapult you on the Dish Nation, and then now on Side Dish, where you are, you're truly like a gem on there. You know what it means to like put in that hard work in and be good to people, and how good it is to laugh at things that some people want to cry at. Yeah. Yeah. We gotta switch it around and bring the humor in.
Because of what we do, I mean, we're escapism for a lot of people. Yeah. And you never know what people are going through, but the commonality is if you can help people laugh just for even 60 seconds, just so they can forget about the BS that they was dealing with prior to your exchange of energy with them, it helps out a lot. And I've been very fortunate to be able to be in people's cars and people's TVs. And
it's your voice. It's your voice. You got a different voice.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, you have to have a great voice for like TV and radio. I used to be so ashamed of this raspy.
Now your voice cuts.
I love my voice now. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. I am attracted to voices. I be on the plane. I hear the flight attendant doing. I'm like, she snapped. I'm about to put my seatbelt on. I wouldn't even go wear my.
What was the moment you knew you had it?
The moment I knew my voice was great was probably like 5 or 6 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, I've always liked. Talking, but I didn't know how this voice was so powerful. I'm talking about the diction and the tone of it. I was like, it's fire.
It brings you into the stories that you tell.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's trustworthy. Yeah. The higher pitched voice is scary.
Really? Who, like, for example, who has a higher pitched voice?
Michelle.
Yeah.
I couldn't talk to that voice every day. Good morning, you your twin. Yeah, what's up?
It's weird because that would drive me crazy.
That would drive me nuts.
It's like she has like a sledgehammer sitting on some imaginary nuts, right? It's making her voice high. But when she sings, it's all deep and bassy. Yeah. However, I would love to have a 3-way phone conversation with Rosie Perez and Fran Drescher.
Oh, that would be good.
It's just a New York ass phone call. It's just like two just like, I don't know, something just remind me of home. Like,
remind you of home.
Remind me of home.
Listen, this has been great. I just got a small game I want to play because.
Come with it.
Yeah, come on. We're going to play a little game. Something a little fun. Just so you can know, like, I'll basically ask you, I'll give a topic or a situation. And thick are you feeling it? Are you rocking with it? And thin, like, not at all. Count me out. It's a no-go. All
right, let's go.
Okay. And here we go. Here we go. It's a breakdown on all things that you may like or may not like. I don't know. I'm trying to feel you out. All right. So we did this one already, and it's so funny that we brought it up. AI rap songs. Thick or thin?
Thin.
Thin AI rap song. Gotta go.
I mean, I did like the point in time where I was getting like new AI Biggie.
Yeah.
Because it's the best we can do. if you dead, and this is all we got, I'll take it. I'll take an Easy AI album.
I gotta tell you something.
What's up?
When they first started coming out, I thought it was music that's never been released.
Oh, man.
Yeah, because I was just, green. I didn't know.
That just testament to how good that was.
It was. I'm like, y'all hear that new? They're like, Kelly. I'm like, okay, sorry. All right. All right. Thick and Thin Celebrity Podcast. Celebrities, you know, because they know who they are. Mm-hmm. They can start a podcast, and anytime they want to, they can start whatever they want to.
Thick. It just depends on the celebrity. Like, there's some people I want to know more about. There's some people I don't want to know anything about. Yeah. Like, if Eddie Murphy started a podcast, I want to hear that.
I want to watch Eddie Murphy.
Arsenio Hall should have a podcast.
Arsenio Hall should have a podcast.
Wendy Williams was about to have a podcast.
Was she?
Yeah. And
it makes it happen.
There's nothing to say that it can't happen. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So I rock with it. Okay. It just depends on the celebrity.
Let's go. It depends on the celebrity. I'm with it too.
Yeah, if you Alec Baldwin, I don't know.
Yeah. No thanks. All right. TikTok dances.
Thick.
Thick.
Because for some people, that's how they learn.
All right.
I'm a person who will never learn. No matter how many times I watch the video. If it involves more than 3 steps, I am lost.
You mean to tell me you rap the way you rap and you ain't got no cold ass? Oh, we got a 2-step. You said it involves more than 3. There you go. So you got a 2-step. Mm-hmm. What's your 2-step? I see you bit your lip a little bit.
Bump. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. I danced like a character in GTA.
Yeah, you surely did. I was like, oh my God, is he waiting for a ride?
Yeah, like anything that I saw in music videos back in the day, if I could map it to a song.
Audio, they be like yeah, I'm ready to get picked up. Hey, you.
Like simple things, man. That's why videos are important. We need to bring back Yo MTV or whatever the new version of all that stuff.
Bring it back. Listen.
No, don't bring anything back because we're gonna hate it. Like the same way we do our people.
You know what it is? But they gotta stop pretending like we have to recreate the wheel. Bring it back. Just don't try to say it's a relaunch or a spin-off.
That's the problem. They did bring it back and it didn't make it.
Have the right people bring it back. Change the power up.
If I was the producer of the last Yo MTV rap show, like, I'd have put me in it.
Bruh, first of all, and I hope you would have put me in it.
It's all I wanted to ever do. Yeah. All I ever wanted to do was host a Yo MTV Raps type show or a Rap City type show because I literally be out here giving a fuck. I really like new rap. Yeah. I like music. I like putting people on a new artist. I like breaking artists. That's one of the things that brought me into radio. Like, cause even before radio, I used to work at a record company. And I wanted to climb up the ranks to become A&R. Yeah. But then I realized, this ain't gonna be around like this much longer. Wow. And then I jumped off the boat and got on a canoe and did radio.
and guess what? It's been good to you.
It worked out.
It sure did. And you got a life jacket on too, by the way. So ain't no sinking. Ain't no sinking.
I ain't gonna be like Jack.
Come back, Jack. Why did he get on that little piece of wood?
Why is that girl a hoe?
Which one with you?
What was her name? Kate? Helen?
Jack, come back. What was her name?
Kate Rose. Your fiance took you on a cruise. You cheated on that nigga with a homeless dude from the lower decks and you watched him die.
How dare you? But there was enough room on that wood.
Some people say they weren't, but...
You think that wood would have... Well, move over.
Yeah, like...
But me and my friends, before our cheerleading game, I was a cheerleader in high school.
Okay.
We was like, Jack, come back, Jack. What you want to eat? Jack was me asking each other questions and just make Jack come back like, I'm dying, I'm hungry. Why would she do that? That man, this was blue.
She was the villain of the movie.
She was the villain.
Yo, man, let's just say, if it was a role reversed Titanic, right? Mm-hmm. You go on a cruise with your dude. Your dude leaves you and fucks a rando from the lower decks of the boat. We're on Carnival, all right?
We on Carnival.
We're on Carnival. I gotta make it real for everybody, because like
we on Carnival. You on the Lido.
Yeah.
They on the one deck, number one.
Is that how that works?
They down with the staff.
I've been on one cruise.
They down with the staff at the bottom, no window.
Yeah, so your dude smashes a chick that's next to the staff, and then the ship sinks. You decide to go in the little wood. Your dude decides to go in a little wood plank with the chick she met, and then he watched her die.
Yeah.
So when you guys get back to shore, what's that conversation gonna be like in the car?
Oh yeah. Well. There will not be a car there for him when he gets back. Okay, I got the keys. Okay. Since we pretending, I don't ever want to see him again. Yes, he's the villain.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Rose. Evil Rose.
Listen, you're funny. You make me happy.
I be really this stuff keeps me up at night.
This stuff is, and this is good too. Like, actually, you're my first person I ever did this bonus round of Through Thick and Thin, and I think I'm keeping this. It's
Come
good.
with it.
Come with it. I like this because it just really, first of all, it just gives a little flair, and I like it. Dating apps, thick or thin?
Thick.
Thick.
Only from a FOMO space, because I got bagged during the last days of MySpace, so I missed the whole wave.
Wait, hold on. Your wife got you all through MySpace?
No, not through MySpace, but like I got into that relationship
And
like at the end of MySpace. So just imagine, like,
bruh.
then MySpace ends, and then Twitter becomes a thing, and then like Instagram becomes a thing, and then Tinder drops.
And then Tinder.
And then like
Plenty of Fish.
I heard of that.
And then Christian Mingle.
Yo, a bunch of preachers kids being freaky. Christian Mingle, like.
And they should have a RICO. RICO charge. They should technically.
That is like the Ellis Island of trafficking, because like, you meet people on these sites and you fly them in, they fly to come see you. Man.
Take down the sites, but they ain't gonna do that because of the money. So
I done air trained a few chicks places.
Yeah. I got flew out so many times before my husband, and then my husband still slides me out everywhere.
Oh,
yeah.
They gotta be careful. Maybe the law is like, if you married to a person, is not trafficking.
That's not the law. Looked it up.
Oh, that's what's up.
If James flies me out and we do something there, it is considered human trafficking.
That's a great way to get out of a relationship. Like, you say, like, if you wanted a divorce, but you wanted it to go like real smooth, like, you set them up. You'd be like, yo, man, you've been trafficking me for mad years.
You've been trafficking mad years, and this time I'm fed up. I know I was happy when I was in Dubai, but I was pretending.
Like Cassie was pretending.
I
saw a thing that said that when her friend was like, yo, you should break up with him. He's like, who else am I gonna date? Jay-Z is taken.
I just saw that today. Wow. Imagine
everyone's a villain in this story.
Everyone's a villain. Hold on. Cassie's husband. You know what? Do you have ADHD?
Probably.
Me too. Have you ever been diagnosed? Me neither.
They gave me the medicine.
Oh, they did? Oh, I went on Google.
But I think they gave it to me because I'm me.
Oh, yeah, but I went on Google.
Like, I got a problem concentrating.
I went on Google, like, why can't I focus? You see how we just jump in something? So we come back, though. That's what makes
we loop it back. We quantum leap back to where our original start point.
Man, come on. We better than these people. The people that suffer for ADHD, you can't get back and you still on medicine, y'all need to come hang out with us. We're focused over here. Okay.
Laser.
So I feel bad for Cassie. I mean, he's the villain, the husband.
I think they're in on it together.
When you answered the phone and Diddy was smashing your friend at the time, and then she instantly became your wife, and you hearing all these things he says, you're the villain. Yeah, you're not supportive. You're not supportive no more. This is a villain.
I think they're in on it together, and she was probably the most stable person within her circumference that she could probably find refuge with.
Okay.
Like, because this guy's a personal trainer, so
did you look at him? Every time I look at her husband, I am just blown away. To go from Diddy, and I'm not saying Diddy is the best looking thing, but just the lifestyle with Diddy to that man, I'm like, man.
They're like, you personal train people like LA Fitness or something.
Bruh, I fall out with my trainer every other week. He hate me. I'm so unreliable with that $150. I'm like, you know what? I ain't got it this week.
But now they got $30 million.
Didn't they have, how much did they have for that first settlement?
So Cassie got $20 million for the initial hush money.
Yes.
And he needs a refund because she's talking.
She's talking. Where was the paperwork?
I know, but whatever, right? And then she also got $10 million from the hotel that withheld the video footage and then released it.
I didn't know that.
So now they got $30 million.
And now what are y'all doing this for?
We're doing what for?
Why are they putting Diddy through all this?
Well, the thing is, because I think the thing was, I don't think they was like, hey, we want to send him to court for trafficking and all this other stuff. But I think when she said what she said, they settled out of court. The smoke is fire. Diddy's beefing with the alcohol company. You know what? We're going to cut the strings and we're going to see how far you can free fall. Yeah. I don't think this was ever about really putting him in jail for life. It was a point about emasculating him in front of the world. And I'm not saying that what he did was right. Yeah. And stuff was right. But like at the end of the day, anytime a black man reaches a certain level, and I ain't gonna say anytime because I don't want to be like,
no, bruh, I'll say it. And not that I don't love everybody else who reach certain levels. It's just when we reach them, they're like, enough is enough. Come back, for people think that they can do it.
Yeah, but what if though? What if you made it to the top and you wasn't on no fuck shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
That's why it's coming for us. Because your energy the way it is and my energy the way it is, it's only right that we deserve that type of, no. Because I've been married, so we ain't had no chance.
I mean, everybody got shit.
No, we're good people.
Yeah, we're great people.
Yeah, okay.
Great people.
I got 2 more and then we're going to get up out of here because we do not want this to come back on us. We are good people. When we get to the top, our story is going to be squeaky clean.
I save babies.
Oh, what?
I save babies.
What do you mean?
Like children. I saved them. I helped save them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just felt right in the moment.
Listen, it's same babies. I'm like,
I did pay for a pizza party at the school my sister teaches at the other day. There's that.
There's that. That's what he meant. He saved.
And I was like, yo, if y'all kids like, you know, get the best grades in the school, I'm gonna sponsor y'all pizza party. And I sponsored it.
And they did that though. They had that incentive. They had somebody loving on them and caring on them. And those are the things that we do when no one's looking.
Yeah.
Those are the things that count when no one's looking. When it's lights, camera, action, it's easy to be great. But when you go home and you're at a restaurant and you see 2 women walk in and you're like, hey, I'm gonna pay for their food too. It may not be much. It may only been $30, $40. But that changed their narrative for their day. That's what we do.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, the real key to like, I don't want to say success. I don't even want to say it's a key, but like what really truly gives me joy is when you can do so much good stuff that if you get and jump somewhere, everyone jumps in and helps you.
Bro, I'm telling you, I'm straight then. We straight.
That literally
I wish somebody, I'm never worried because I have enough people around me that'll never make sure nothing happens to me.
And that's key. I was on Instagram Live the other day and like someone came on and said, hey, I'll never forget what you did for me and my family last year. And I'm like, I don't remember what that was. Because like, I just, in real time, if people need something and I can make it happen, yo, it's done. It's done.
It's done.
Like, yeah, like it doesn't have to be that hard, man. Yeah. And like, I ain't gonna loop back when the 1 year anniversary and be like, hey, remember that thing? You know, like, you know, just move through life, be a good human.
Remember that turkey I delivered?
Rinse and repeat.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, pay it for it.
Be good, rinse and repeat.
Speaking of my food, thick or thin, vegan food.
Thick. I found myself in a situation the other day, right?
You a vegan?
No.
Oh.
I did go no steak, well, no beef 1 year, right? But
a whole year?
A whole year. It was rough. It was really rough.
I feel like you're relapsing.
Oh, no, I'm definitely back outside eating all the animals.
All the animals.
All of them. Minus not so much pork, but I will eat pepperoni. It's mysterious pork.
Yeah, I don't eat pork. I only eat bacon. Go ahead.
Yeah, same universe. Yeah, like bacon bangs.
Bacon bangs. I don't want to give a bacon.
I will eat some turkey bacon, even though it tastes like belt.
What about the uncured turkey bacon? Is worse. It's like ham.
It's
called uncured turkey bacon. It look like ham, but it's turkey. I don't want it either.
I guess I've been eating cured.
You definitely eat cured, the one that leathers up like that.
Was it like Jenny O?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Butterball?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It's like turning that cartoon bacon when you cook it, like you got the waves to it, like it's doing the work. But now, like I was at the airport the other day in Phoenix, right? Yeah. And like my plane landed really late. Everything's about to close. It's like the Mexican restaurant. And I rolled up and then I was like, yo, can we get, and he's like, yo, Papi, before you even start talking, all we have is pork and I can't make quesadillas. And it was crazy because I saw the lady like putting cheese away. So you definitely could make a quesadilla.
You definitely.
So like I was like, I'm gonna go somewhere else. And I left and I came back. It's like, all right, let me get that veggie burrito. Bussin'. And that's not the first time I had it.
I love vegan food when somebody else get it for me. If they make any sense. I'm not initiating vegan food. Right?
I get it.
I'm not initiating. I'm not going like, let me go get the vegan food. But when somebody introduced me, I'm like, man, I could do this every day. It's so crazy how fickle I am. Because I'd be so happy I made that healthy choice. Mm-hmm. But then I could leave. And 4 hours later, somebody can offer me Zaxby's. And I'm off to the moon.
I mean, like, if somebody offers you Zaxby's, that's just God.
That's God. It's free Zaxby's.
Yeah.
I just had a chickenless meatloaf.
Zaxby's sauce, too? Like,
I just had a meatless chicken. I just had a meatless meatloaf.
How was it?
That's what I'm saying. I want the Zaxby's.
Oh, yeah. That's your reward.
That for having a meatless meatloaf, man, give me the Zaxby's.
You suffered like Job, so you could have the meatless meatloaf. You put yourself through it.
I ran so I could walk away.
You're right.
Hey, you know what? I honestly, I'm gonna keep it real. At one point, I forgot the cameras was on because we was just kicking it and just having a good time, man. This is what I feel like life is about. I feel like the energies are real. I feel like interviewing somebody like you who's able to just shift in the rooms and your work ethic is to the roof and what you're aspiring to be and what you have done, it brings me great joy. I know you have a lot of moving parts. Tell them about it. Because I couldn't even begin.
Man, listen. So this side dish comes on Fox Soul Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. You can watch that live, or you can just catch the replays on YouTube or whatnot. You probably will see Kellz on there. You know what I'm saying? So tap into that energy. Also, I got a project out right now. It's called Microdose. A couple weeks away from dropping the deluxe version. It's kind of like an expansion pack to the original project, and then I'm gonna chase you down with another project before the summer's over.
Come on, chase you down.
Hey man, listen, you gotta keep feeding the meter, and like, cause like I gotta constantly remind people, I do music because like I'm not like rapping everywhere I go, like, you know, cause I gotta do these other things, right? But also you catch me on the game show 25 Words or Less, not only on the current season, but the next season. And in the process of like finalizing buying a business in Buckhead.
Yeah!
So there's a bunch of things.
I mean, I literally just heard almost, I think 7-8 streams of income.
You have to do that because the world is terrible right now, and the dollar is worth a nickel.
Yeah. And if you put all your eggs in one basket, you're crazy.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
The handle gonna break.
The handle gonna break. Hey, listen, the handle gonna break on all the stuff that you gotta carry right now, because it ain't even that is heavy lifting. It's just the fact that the boxing and the stuff is full with the handle. So we excited about you. I'm excited about your next move. Whatever business it is, I want a job so I can add one to my streams of income.
That is very possible. We'll talk offline on this. Like,
see how you talk your way into situations? I didn't even know what it is, so he can't say I was just jumping on his stuff. I just want a job anyways, man. I appreciate you.
No, we definitely gonna work together, because like, yo, like I love your frequency. I love your go-getter attitude. I love your just your overall spirit. So anything I can do to aid and abet you to the greatness that you are ascending towards, I'm here for it. And I appreciate us connecting. I remember the first time I met you was at Uptown Comedy Corner. And you was sitting in the little area that everybody sit when they get ready to go up. And I remembered you, you know, like from that night. And I didn't even get a chance to see your set because I was on my way out. But, you know, even without seeing it, I feel like I know so much because I've been around your energy. That's why I'm an energy person. That's the thing that hurt me the most about the pandemic is like, yo, I need to hug people.
I need to hug you.
I need people to hug me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a form of currency for me. So
that's a real thing. I appreciate that. And us pouring into each other is just gonna have the cup overflow. Boom.
Hey.
Yeah! Our cup's overflowing. I pray that your cup is overflowing. Whatever that you asking the higher power for, whatever that is. Trust and believe that it's happening, man. You are sitting and watching some people who are truly bent on themselves, who realize that through thick and thin, no matter what, is going to work. I just need you to like, comment, subscribe, share. Talk about, be kind to yourself. Send some ideas in, some people that you want to see, because guess what? If you be good to you, I'll be good to you too. All right, bye. Love y'all. Bye.